that they dropped out of. I want to talk about victimism, folks. Every one of you out here is a victim. We are all victims, and we shouldn't forget to use that word. We're not the sniveling, whiny kind of victims. No. We are victims in our own country by a clown, Ringling Brothers size that lives in that house, by our local politicians, and by one other thing that is very, very detrimental to us, but we will overcome it, and that's the media. The media lies on us. They treat us like we're a bunch of idiots. And I want to say to those of you in the media here today, when you print your stories tomorrow, when you print your stories tonight, when your newspapers come out and your broadcasts come out, and you say that we are anti-immigrant, you are lying bastards. We are not anti-immigrant. We never have been. We're anti-illegal alien. That's why we should all use that term, and that term exclusively, because that's what we are. Let me say something about these children that they have parading in the streets now. We hear it all the time. It's the children. What are we going to do with the children of these illegal people? I can't make that call, folks, because they are now, at this time, being recognized as American citizens, and they shouldn't be, because it was a misinterpretation of the 14th Amendment. My great-grandfather was a slave in the state of Louisiana, and I know what that amendment was meant for. It was meant for me and for his children. But, if their parents, when their parents are deported, that is for them to decide what happens to the brats. To decide whether they take them to their country of origin or leave them here with somebody, but it is their parents who put them in that position and not us. I want to talk a little more about victimism. I'm going to keep this short because it's running long, but let me say this. We are all victims. Every one of us that has a child in a school in this country, I don't care whether it's Danbury, Connecticut, or San Diego, California, if your child is in public school, that child is a victim because that child is getting a half-ass education from the government. That child is a victim because that teacher's got to spend extra time with some little brat that's illiterate in 2 languages sometimes, and that teacher's got to take away from your child to do that. Every one of you who has ever done construction work, bricklayer, framer, carpets, anything, if you've done anything in construction, you are a victim because not only have they taken away your job, where you still have a job, they have lowered the wage. And that makes you a victim. If you live in a neighborhood like I do, where there's chickens and goats and ducks and everything else that walks on 4 legs, running through the streets and in yards, if you have to live where the people have corn growing in their front yards, if you've got to live where people put their laundry on a fence, if you've got to live where your next-door neighbors don't even speak your language and refuse to try, you are a victim. We have got to remember, we are victims. I have a question. Rhetorical. Where the hell is Sean Hannity? Where the hell is O'Reilly? Where are they today? They were notified about this, but they won't come out here. When you listen to Sean Hannity, I know some of you like him. I can't stand his guts, and I'm going to tell you why. He won't stand up for us. We have a problem other than that border that he mentions. These people are in our neighborhoods. We are suffering. We are victims because of where they are. Does Hannity ever one time mention us victims? No. He talks about the border only, and that problem extends beyond the border. The same thing with O'Reilly, who wants an amnesty. You've got to call these people out. Call their shows and tell them about it. Let them know how you feel. We are victims. We must remember we are victims, and then we've got to fix it. We've got to make it in this country where they can't exist here. And every time somebody tells you we can't round up 20 million people, we don't have to. You make it where they can't work. You make it where they can't buy. You make it where they can't sell. You make it where they can't open up a business. You make it where they can't educate, medicate, incarcerate. If you do that, they will go home. They will go home. And let me say this. 80% of them are smart enough to do that. That other 20%, we will deal with them. We will find them. We'll put up traffic stops the way they do on New Year's Eve for drunks. And we will check everybody's status. Mine, yours, everybody, regardless of their color, race, creed, size, height, anything else. We will check that. And once we find them, they will be deported after they give us a year of their life out there in that Mojave Desert with Sheriff Joe Arpaio. If they come back, we will give them 5 years, and then 10 years, they will get the picture. We will make it where you cannot live in this country illegally. It is fair. It is our right as Americans to demand who can come, and when they come, and how long they can stay, and under what conditions. And if we don't start demanding that, we don't deserve this America. I want to thank D.A. King and Roger Hitchcock and FAIR for putting this thing together. It's fabulous. I'm the first guy to broadcast. I'm so happy and proud of that. We're going to rattle their teeth tonight. Roger and the rest are going to rattle their teeth tomorrow. We're going to put their feet to the fire, and we're going to give them hell. We will do like Harry Truman said. We'll give them the truth and make them think it's hell.